Welcome guys, it's Amino Asif here and I've got a banger of a video on DNA. Bit of a reference to the Kendrick Lamar song, It's in My DNA. Apologies for the cringe there. But DNA is found in where? Like what organelle houses contains good old DNA, this structure over here as I get my laser pointer. Any ideas? Where's it found? And we're assuming it's an animal / plant cell or anything eukaryotic. So there's my clue. Yes, exactly. It's found in the nucleus. Of course, it's packaged by those chromosomes and coiled. Once the DNA is coiled and wrapped around special type of proteins, they're packaged by chromosomes. Now, before I unpick and unravel, no pun intended, unravel DNA in terms of what it defines as, what is this? Like, how do we describe this structure? Two words, and the word two. Another synonym for the word two is double, and it's a double helix. Let me just rewrite that. Double helix structure, helical structure. Another word we can go for, another phrase term, is double stranded. So DNA is described as being double stranded. But what does DNA stand for? Well, DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid, and I'm actually going to write the second half in red because I'm going to break down the word here. So there's always that student who puts his hands up and actually defines DNA because he's a bit of a, well, he's read the textbook, he's quite a hard-working student, and they always define it as deoxyribonucleic acid. But what is it, you may ask? Well, nucleic acid refers to a nucleotide, and this word is very important. It will come up in exam questions, and there's 2 markers, there's 3 markers. The deoxyribo part refers to the pentose sugar that makes up a nucleotide. So we're going to write a pentagon here. And essentially DNA is a polymer of that keyword here, of nucleotides. It's a polymer of many things, and these being nucleotides. So you've got this DNA structure. If I were to sort of eavesdrop one part of it, it would make up this nucleotide. So this referring to a structure of a nucleotide. So many of these nucleotides I show here, just a bunch of shapes at the moment, is what DNA is made out of. So if you were to double this, triple this, quadruple this, like copy and paste many of these in one strand and then double it, meaning 2 strands, we make up DNA. So DNA is actually a polymer of nucleotides, and nucleotides are what this is. These are 3 structures. Okay, so just a quick word fill. DNA stands for, excellent, deoxyribonucleic acid. What's one phrase we always describe DNA as? Excellent, double helix structure or double stranded structure. And fill in the gap. DNA is a of nucleotides. What is that A? Referring to many. Exactly, a polymer of nucleotides. Let's see what a nucleotide is actually made out of. So I've drawn here a circle, a pentagon, and a rectangle. The pentagon is made out of deoxyribose sugar. Now we know the classic sugars, the polysaccharides, the polymer. So the poly sugars such as starch, carbohydrates, coming under that sort of umbrella term, glycogen. If you break down further, we got the 6-figure carbon structure. Any ideas? It's used in respiration, rhymes with who knows? Exactly, glucose. But this isn't glucose. This has actually got 5 carbons, but it still exhibits the nature of being the sugar. It's deoxyribose, and it's got 5 carbons, as evidenced by the pentagon. Now the circle here is the P in ATP, and the circle refers to a phosphate group. Now, if you were to get this wrong, you would probably write phosphorus. Do not write phosphorus, okay? It's phosphate. It's got the oxygen in terms of its structure. And then finally, we've got this rectangle. My clue is the sort of music. It's not jungle, drum and, yes, exactly, bass. But you're not going to write it as, well, you're not going to write it with two S's. You're going to write bass. So this is what a nucleotide is made out of. A nucleotide is made out of, circle, a, what exactly? Excellent, phosphate group. A pentagon, but we don't say pentagon, we say deoxyribose, sugar. And then finally, it's made out of a rectangle, which is regarded as a base. Brilliant. So that's what a nucleotide is. And many of these nucleotides make up DNA. So if you, let's picture this, okay? You've got the nucleus, zoom in, you've got the chromosomes, zoom in further, you've got this double helical structure, DNA. Take one part of it, you've got the nucleotide, and the nucleotide is made out of these three things. Zoom out again, and you've got the DNA structure. Zoom in, you've got the nucleotides. Zoom out again, you've got many, many nucleotides together. Hence the phrase polymer. So just to stress that again. 3 parts, we've done it again with the nucleotide, phosphate group, deoxyribose and base. Now, you also need to know 4 types of bases. You've got A, T, and you've got C and G. These are the 4 types of bases, the 4 horsemen, if you wish, if I'm going a bit metaphoric here. And these letters make up your genetic code, essentially. In a future video, we'll talk about genes and the sort of the triplets, the codons, and we'll expand on it. But as a video on the structure of DNA, this is sufficient. And this information will be sufficient for the exam questions you guys will be writing in your comment section, the comment section below, on this topic. But there's 4 types of bases. Any ideas? And I'm asking you, yes, you. Why have I paired them together? What are the bases referred to as? You know, if you give someone a praise, what's another word for a praise? As in, that top really looks good on you, or that's a very nice tennis racket. What's that? What's that? You're giving a, exactly, compliment. So these bases are regarded as a complementary set of bases or pair of bases. They're complementary bases. So A pairs with T, C pairs with G. And I'm going to expand on that in this idea. So let's say you've got one strand here of DNA, and then you've got the other strand here. So A is going to pair with T, C is going to pair with G, A is going to pair with T, T is going to pair with A, G is going to pair with, I'll give you a clue, group, chat, C, GC. Anyway, so these are regarded as complementary bases. So A pairs with T, exactly, C pairs with G, it's meant to be, these bases are complementary, so a little rhyme there. Okay, so we've just wrapped up this DNA structure video. We've got an exam question coming up. So the DNA molecule codes for the production of proteins. So yeah, bit of a sort of foreshadowing effect for the future videos. In cells, describe the structure of a DNA molecule. Okay, got 3 minutes, 3 marks, good luck. And yeah, of course, pause the video. So 3, 2, 1, let's look at the mark scheme. Amazing. If you said the word double helix, double stranded, you get a mark. If you mentioned the bases, you get a mark. And the fact that A pairs with C and C pairs with G, to represent that complementarity, you also get a mark. So let me know how you done. Did you get 3 out of 3? And so on and so forth. Now we got the nucleotides. So we got a diagram showing a single nucleotide, R, S, and then T. So write down in your comments below, name the parts of the nucleotides labelled RST in 3, in 2, in 1. So R is of course the phosphate group. What if I wrote phosphorus? I'm going to ask you now, the viewer, where have I gone wrong? It's quite logical and probable that students would write the word phosphorus, but it's incorrect, isn't it? It's absolutely incorrect. You got to say the word phosphate. Now S, this pentose sugar, we're referring it to as deoxyribose. So always, if you're talking about DNA, refer it to as deoxyribose. Do not refer it to as pentose, because it's not specific enough, like the ocean. If you get the joke, Pacific, never mind. Anyways, T refers to the base. How many bases do we have? Just like the square of 2, how many bases do we have of DNA? Exactly, we've got 4 bases. And what are the 4 bases, I ask you? Exactly, you've got A and T, C and G. A and T are paired with each other, and C and G. And some extra information, they're held together by hydrogen bonds. So that was a little bit of A level. But anyways, that's what holds them together. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do appreciate a like, comment and subscription to the channel. And yeah, good luck with your end of unit exams, end of year exams, the exam tomorrow. I don't know when you're watching this, but yeah, all the best. Take care.